Good morning, I'm Barbara.
Hi, I'm Norma, Barbara's mother.
And this is my second week on a keto diet.
So, how is it going, Barbara?
It's going well. I feel better. I've got more energy, it seems, and I'm not quite as craving carbs as I did last week.
Yeah. Well, I can see a difference.
Oh,
I
good.
can see a difference when we're at the gym. And I think it's great. And what I would like to know is, why don't we start back to the beginning,
Okay.
before you knew you had Parkinson's?
All right.
So what made you think that you needed to go see someone about, obviously you were having some kind of symptoms of something?
Right. Well, when it first started, I honestly, it was because I didn't feel quite right, and the summer of 2013, my sister asked me why I was moving so slowly, and I didn't know I was. So I went to my GP, and she did blood work, and nothing came up. And then, as the fall came about, I started noticing my shoulder hurting. I couldn't raise my arm up like this. It was just so painful. And so I went to orthopedic, and she did an MRI, and she said, there's nothing wrong with your shoulder, why don't you go to a neurologist? And I thought, why would I go to a neurologist? So then I decided to go to the neurologist because I had a stiff neck.
But weren't you also noticing that it was hard for you to smile or take a picture? That
Right. That I didn't actually, that was a hindsight of like, oh yeah, I was trying to update my picture for Facebook, and my picture just didn't look right. It was fake looking, like I couldn't smile. My face wouldn't emote. And I thought it was so odd. So, but that was just one of those weird, you know. And so when I finally went in February, made the appointment with the neurologist, and went and saw her. My mom, you were with me.
Right.
We went, and she had me walk down the hall, and she gave me a piece of paper and told me to write a spiral. And she said, oh, I know exactly what's wrong with you. You've got Parkinson's disease. And both Mom and I were, just...
It's like, where did that come from? I mean, that was totally out of left field.
Right.
We were not expecting that at all, and neither one of us knew how to react to it.
Right.
We didn't even know really what Parkinson's was.
All we thought was
Michael J. Fox,
right. That was it. And so she sent me home with some ropeneol and a book. So, in typical fashion, we went to the movies.
We did. When we left there, first we sat out in the car, just, we not saying anything, and then we just started the car up and drove to the theater and watched a movie. And it was a comedy.
Right.
And when we came out, we both felt better.
Right.
And it was like, okay, this is something that we've got to find out about.
Right.
What do you do with this?
Right. So,
well, I think that's when you went to the chiropractor.
It is.
And I will make a note here, because the chiropractor did say that he did not think you had Parkinson's.
Correct. He didn't think I did after his examination. And he was a chiropractor that specialized in movement disorders. So...
And your movements.
Right.
And your sense of taste.
And my sense of smell.
Right.
All that is still intact. And
right.
that's normally the first thing that goes.
Right.
So he really didn't think I had Parkinson's. But he couldn't come up with why I was moving so slowly.
Right.
And why I had the pain in my back. Because this whole time, the pain in my back, when I say it's not my spine, it's my lats and my rhomboid area, if you're familiar with that. There, it just gets really tight. So basically, what I did after I went to the chiropractor, then I found I didn't do anything really for about a year and a half. It wasn't until my teenage daughter, asked me if I was ever going to smile again. And I tried to explain to her that, and I was just in so much pain, but I realized then that that's not an excuse. I was in pain, and I wasn't mean, but I just, I couldn't, you can't go through life just being in pain all the time. That's just not good.
No.
So I found another neurologist, and I went to her, and she did the same test, pretty much, and she told me the same thing, but she prescribed Cinemat, which is the main drug for Parkinson.
Right.
And within 30 minutes of taking it, my back was loose. Everything about me was so much, I was just able to relax. And then I knew for sure that I had Parkinson's.
Okay, so right now, what are your symptoms?
Right now, my symptoms are basically slowness of movement. I have lost the ability to write, so that my voice is softer. I've got constipation, incontinence, and really I think that's about it. I mean, that's enough. I don't need any more for sure, but those are the main, and those are pretty typical of Parkinson's.
I'm thrilled with how good Barbara's doing. I can see a difference just from last week to this week, and we would be very, very interested in any comments that y'all have to make, or if you've got questions,
Absolutely.
then just ask us. We're not doctors. We're not claiming to be anything other than a daughter and her mother that's going through this journey.
Absolutely. We've enjoyed it.
Yes,
And
we have.
next week we're going to talk about alternative therapies that I have done, that I've read about. Some I've done, some I haven't, and I'll give you the costs because. So next week, join us next week. Wait. Join us next week. We're going to go over alternative therapies. Some I've tried, some I haven't, and we'll give you our opinion if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down. So until next week.
Yes, y'all have a blessed day.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.